It's the final elections update of 2017.
Today we'll be rounding up this week's action.
We'll also be hearing about the daily life of an officer as our very own Lizzie catches up with Izzy Nichols, the Housing and Community Officer.
Also, for the last time, Brandon Hasseloni will be joining us on the sofa, who is the current Representation and Resources Officer.
That's all on this evening's elections update. Good evening and welcome to this final elections update of 2017. I'm Ruth Simone Sherry.
And I'm Elliot Mitchell.
And today we're going to be talking to Brandon Hasseloni once again, our Representation and Resources Officer. Good evening, Brandon.
Good evening.
So, we've been hearing from you throughout the week. What's your most memorable thing from this campaign week?
I'm going to have to go with the presidential debate. We changed the format a little bit and I found it to be way more interesting than when I had a hosting last year.
Are you going to miss elections week?
Yeah, I am. It's fun. It's always great to see new candidates and new ideas.
So talking about new candidates, on Saturday your successor will be announced. How are we feeling about that?
I'm excited.
And what's the biggest thing about your role as Representation and Resources Officer that you're going to miss?
The ability to do anything. The remit on the RRO is so wide and you get to get yourself involved in so much should you wish. So the flexibility of just being able to do anything and affect change in the guild.
Have you got a highlight from the year so far?
My highlight from the year is I'm gonna have to go with Free the Tea. It was really funny to have people walk into the library with mugs of tea and coffee, fight the power and all that. It was good.
Was there a funny thing that happened that day? Like, was there one action? Did someone drop their tea?
No one dropped their tea. That was the highlight of that. No one dropped their tea, which definitely proves my point to the university.
So after this, you are going back to being a student. How are we also feeling about this fact?
Ooh, I'm scared. Lecturers look after me. Give me good grades. I'm scared, but it should be interesting. It'll be great to see what other people are doing while I'm still around on campus. Hopefully they can create some change for me.
It sounds like a very exciting year coming up.
Yeah.
We'll be hearing from you again in a bit, Brandon. But first, our very own Lizzie caught up with Izzy Nichols, Housing and Community Officer, to find out about the day in the life of an officer at the Guild.
With less than a day left to vote and campaigns coming to an end, we've come to see what current Housing and Community Officer Izzy Nichols has been up to. Let's take a look. So can you just briefly describe your job on a day-to-day basis?
I think it changes quite a lot. So I would probably say that on behalf of me and the other officers, we have a lot of meetings. So we have meetings, like committee meetings that we're sat on as student representatives. So for me, for example, I sit on the HR committee, which looks over the kind of like people process in the organisation. I also sit on a lot of planning committees for events. So we have a lot of events in partnership with the community and other like local services and partners. So for example, the Christmas on Campus event, that was something that took a lot of planning. So we have kind of regular meetings on things like that, and day to day they kind of change here and there. I'm currently planning the Junk Busters, which will be happening in June, I think, which will be great. And that's something that is passed on from year to year from Housing Community Officer.
So just going on from that, has your week changed a lot during election week?
It does change. The same with like Welcome Week. So we're kind of on a different time schedule.
Right.
So I would certainly say my diary is a lot more free because a lot of the core staff are out on campus and promoting elections. So we do help when we can, obviously. And I was at Muirhead last week and Storm Doris almost fell down the stairs. And then the same with Welcome Week as well. We are, completely out of meetings and stuff. We're there, trying to make ourselves more available and, making sure that we're promoting us as an officer team.
And how does your job change when students are away on holidays?
It does change. It's a lot more quiet. So a lot of what we do when students are away is more kind of in office, so like less student facing. So a lot of it's planning. We do a lot of planning, so we like to get ahead. So for example, over Easter, we'll start the planning process for Welcome Week in September. So it's kind of more operational meetings that we have. Over Christmas, it was again same planning for the term ahead. So making sure we catch up and make sure we're on top of everything.
And what sort of things are you responsible for?
So I am responsible for the RAs, so the Residents Association committees.
Yeah.
I'm also responsible for the community wardens and community-led projects, and also creating those strong bonds between the West Midlands Police, the fire services, students and the university. I also have responsibility for the housing season. So everything that happens around November onwards, that's pretty much a very busy time for me. And then a few other things between. So I'm kind of one of those jobs where it's what you make of it. So basically, if you want to get involved with something, there's nothing stopping you, basically. It's a lot of our jobs aren't job specific as such. It's more, who can take on the responsibility and help each other out. So I make sure that I kind of give myself up to other people as such to kind of make sure I get involved as much as I can.
Thanks for that, Izzy and Lizzie. So back to Brandon. Is there anything you would be doing differently from last year? Anything you regret? Anything else you want to talk about your year of whirlwind guild elections?
Wow. In terms of anything I'd be doing differently, I really don't know. There's a lot of stuff that you don't get the hang of until you've been in office for a while. So I would have organised my emails better. My organisation would be off the chain if I had the chance to do it again. Politically and in terms of the stuff I've done in my role, no, I don't really have any regrets. I've enjoyed most of what I've been doing, and now the main tasks for me are out the way. I'll just be working on my mandates for the rest of the year.
And was there anything actually? Was there any temptation to run again?
I can't lie. There was a good 3 months where I was debating whether I was gonna run to be your guild president. I chose not to do it because I have a degree to finish, which is kind of my main objective. But who knows? I'm eligible for 2018, 2019. If we get enough signatures on the petition, I might be convinced.
Oh right, so I have to run the petition.
Yeah. You guys run the petition straight out of the Guild TV studios.
Yeah, so it's more like you have to put your degree first.
Yeah.
And finally, was it all worth it?
Yeah, it was definitely worth it. It's a hard job, as I've told all the candidates. It's a really hard job, and you spend a lot of hours in the guild, but it's so worth it. You enjoy not every minute of it, but most of it, and overall, if you know that you've made a change, you've made an impact, and you're going to have a legacy, what's not to love about that?
Thanks, Brandon. So make sure you watch out for Brandon on the university streets. Unfortunately, that is all we have time for today.
But don't forget to join Dominic Ryder and Bera Hassan at 7 p.m. on Saturday, when they'll be bringing you the results live from the Guild of Students.
So make sure you check out our Facebook and YouTube channels.
That's good evening from me.
And good evening from me.